Welcome to the Wednesday, March 18, 2026 meeting of the Gloucester Conservation Commission. The time is 5:30. I will start with a roll call of commissioners present. Member Cook.
Here.
Sergeant. Here. Member Elides. Here. Member Terry. And Member Jackson.
Here.
Quorum present.
Okay, we'll start off the meeting with an administrative briefing. Chuck, do you have anything to catch us up on?
Not a whole lot. We do have progress being made on the culvert down at Lennox Avenue, Lennox Street, right there at the pillars. They are running just slightly behind schedule because of all the weather, but they are moving right along, and they should have flow established, if not by the end of this week, the beginning of next week. They basically kind of finished up all of the structure and are just kind of redoing the substrate around the structure, and then they will get the bottom substrate of the culvert installed probably starting sometime tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. If you have nothing else, we'll move on to public comment. This is the opportunity for anyone in the audience who wishes to comment on an item of conservation value that is not on the current agenda, the opportunity to do so. Is there anyone who wishes to speak?
Don't have any hands up on the Zoom and none here in person.
Okay, I'll close the public comment period. We'll move on to minutes review and approval. We're working on the minutes for March 4th, 2026.
Commissioner Cook moves to approve the minutes for March 4th, 2026.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Roll call. Member Cook.
Yes.
Sergeant.
Yes.
Member Elides.
Yes.
And Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay, moving on to continued business. First up is NOI 0282976, 171 and 281 Rear Magnolia Avenue, Howmag LLC being the owner, and this was previously continued to April 15th, 2026. Next up is NOI 028 unassigned DEP number for 18 Rear Bungalow Road, Marcia Sassoon owning, and this also was previously continued to April 1st, 2026. Then we have NOI 2 together, NOI 0283006 at 105 Wingersheek Road, 125 Wingersheek LLC, and NOI 0283007, 107 Wingersheek Road, also by 125 Wingersheek LLC. There has been a request to continue each of these items to the meeting of April 15th, 2026.
Commissioner Cook makes a motion to move NOI 0283006 and NOI 0283007 to the meeting of April 15th, 2026.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call. Member Cook.
Yes.
Member Sergeant.
Yes.
Member Elides.
Yeah.
And Member Jackson.
Yes. NOI 0283036 at 36 and 7 Welch Lane and Rear Woodman Street by RDL Welch Lane LLC. There's also been a request to continue to the meeting of April 15th, 2026.
Commissioner Cook makes a motion to move NOI 0283036 to the commission meeting of April 15th, 2026.
Commissioner Lee seconds.
Roll call. Member Cook.
Yes.
Member Sergeant.
Abstain.
Member Elides.
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay. NOI 0283077 at 37 Massasoit Road by Daniel Fonzie. There has been a request to withdraw this application without prejudice.
Aiden does have his hand up if we want to hear from him.
Okay.
He should be joining now.
Name and address for the record, please.
All right, I lost you there for a second. Rejoined as a panelist. Aiden Church, Seaside Legal Solutions, address 123 Main Street, Gloucester. So as you mentioned, Ms. Chair, we did just submit this afternoon a written request for a request to withdraw this NOI. I'm going to also address the request for certificate of compliance that's later on down the agenda for 35 Massasoit Road. So, based on the discussion that we had 2 weeks ago here with the commission, based on the additional impact area on 35 Massasoit Road, we're going to respectfully request that the commission issue a friendly enforcement order pertaining to 35 Massasoit Road. We hope to work collaboratively with the commission to address that additional impact area through a restoration plan. So obviously it's at the commission's discretion as to when to issue that enforcement order, but we would request that it is placed on, once it is issued, that it is placed on the May 6th agenda so that we have sufficient time to develop that restoration plan and submit it in advance of that hearing. So just to recap, the request in its entirety is to withdraw the NOI for 37 Massasoit Road, again, without prejudice, so that we can hopefully come back in the future. And then to also withdraw the request for certificate of compliance on 35 Massasoit, also without prejudice. And then that the commission issue a friendly enforcement order pertaining to 35 Massasoit Road. I'm happy to answer any questions about any of the process or anything like that.
Okay,
Just, Madam Chair, I just want to
yes,
say for the RCOC, there's not really a withdrawal process for that. So I think the commission should probably vote that they're not going to issue the COC at this time. And I'll write a written letter and that'll kind of close it out on the current agendas. And then they can resubmit for that once they've kind of cleaned things up with the enforcement order. But I think it should be voted on rather than.
okay. Okay, so let's do this in this order. Why don't we withdraw the 37 Massasoit and then take up the COC request and decide we can vote on that, not to issue a COC?
Yes.
Yes, and then we vote again to ask you to issue an enforcement order?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I will entertain a motion to withdraw. And where are we? NOI 0283077 at 37 Massasoit Road without prejudice.
Commissioner Cook makes a motion to withdraw without prejudice NOI 0283077.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Roll call, Member Cook,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Elides,
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay, next up, we will, I gotta find it. Okay, we will discuss whether or not to withdraw, or we will withdraw without prejudice the request for a certificate of compliance 0282721 at 35 Massasoit Road, unless anybody in the commission objects to that. Does anybody?
Again, just to be clear, it's not a withdrawal, it'll just be a vote to not issue the COC.
Not issue, I'm sorry, you're right.
That's all right.
Vote to not issue. Okay. Is there anybody who has a discussion with that on the commission? Okay. Then Chuck, do you want to take a poll for agreement?
Sure. Member Cook,
Yes.
Member Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Elides,
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes. And finally, yes, not issue. Okay, finally, we will take up the issuance of a friendly enforcement order in order to get them into compliance. Would someone like to make a motion to so issue?
Commissioner Cook makes a motion to request the agent do a friendly enforcement order for 35 Massasoit Road.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Roll call, Member Cook,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Elides,
Yes.
and Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll collaborate with Chuck on just when that is issued and stuff like that, but we would just request some time to come back with a plan. So just the May 6th agenda would work for us. So just reiterating that, and thank you again.
Thank you, and we trust your contact with Chuck, and we'll take it from there.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay. Next up, we have NOI 0283110 at 232 Atlantic Street, Wingate's Beach by the City of Gloucester DPW for dune and trail restoration in Coastal Dune, Coastal Beach, Barrier Beach, land subject to coastal storm flowage, and priority and estimated habitats of rare species, represented by Kansas Richie Munn, Operations Manager of Beaches and Parks.
Thank you. So, yeah, thank you for our last session and your suggestions. You guys have received, but I don't think NHESP or DEP maybe have commented on the revision. You guys want to stay focused on the previous plan or continue on with the revision?
I think it probably makes sense to maybe approve the initial work along with the additional work to be conditioned upon receipt of approval by NHESB.
Okay,
That
so just,
gets you started.
yeah. Do you want me to review that or you guys have that information?
We pretty much have the information. Is there anybody on the commission who would like to hear that again?
I can bring up the new plan and maybe you could just touch on what additional components are on the new plan.
Okay. And then Bill, if you have any other questions, just say so.
Okay.
Yeah, great. So, yeah, from last time, it's basically an addition of about 620 more linear feet, which brings us up walkway 2, hooks around to the left, and also walkway 2 hooking around to the right to where our original zone 1 began. That increases about 45 to 50 more 4-inch seat around posts, as well as signage. Everything else pretty much that stays the same. Something I kind of wanted to touch base on again, which Mr. Cook, I know you suggested about the snow fencing and the dangers of the possible hazard for injury. I just to revisit that, I love the idea of shrubs as well, which was a part of the addition as well from last time, bringing that on the parking lot side, landward side of the dunes. It's obviously we can't be planting that on the frontal dunes. So if we were to use snow fencing on the frontal dunes, and as designed, it traps sand and brings that level up to where it might be a hazard where someone's stepping over it. Maybe we could install another tier to raise it up several feet so that snow fencing. So we put another piece of snow fencing to that new level, and it would be again 4 feet tall, matching the height of the dunes, and we could trap the sand that way. So, I mean, someone would have to be jumping and climbing over the fence at that point in order to get injured. With it being roped off with the symbolic fencing and signage and fencing on the parking lot side, would that kind of appease or reduce the fears of someone getting hurt? Or because it sounds like also NHESP, they and Fish and Wildlife, they approved everything, it sounds like. Is that correct? They did approve all the materials we used, and
Yeah, they didn't have any comments pertaining to the drift fence.
yeah. How do you guys feel about that?
This is Commissioner Cook. As far as the snow fence goes, I don't have a problem with the snow fence. It's once it's been established for a while, we get a major event, and that's when the problems occur. The fences tend to get torn up, and I think maybe if we just put something in there that says, the snow fence will be maintained on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So that if we do have an event and they start getting torn up, you can come in and fix it.
That's
Okay.
reasonable.
Okay, Kansas, is there anything else you would like to say for your initial comments before we open this up to public comment?
Oh, sure. No, I think we can open it up. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I
Then
might want to add just before, The reviewer for this is Devin Harrington. You probably know her as the former assistant agent. Sure she's going to have no issues with the additional symbolic fencing. I know she had drawn up plans very similar that actually extended that fencing much further down Finger Cheeks. I imagine when she's back in the office tomorrow, it'll probably be a quick quick letter that additional.
Okay, let's open this up for public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to comment on the project at NOI 0283110 at 232 Atlantic Street, Wingershik Beach?
I have no hands up on the Zoom and none here in person.
Okay, let's go through commissioner comments.
Member Cook,
I have no additional comments.
Member Sargent,
No comments, thank you.
Member Elides,
Nope, I'm good.
Member Jackson.
I'm good. And Kansas, you're good if we approve the initial work with the additional work conditioned on receipt of NHESP approval?
Yes, 100%. I do have a question.
Sure.
Moving forward for revision. So my understanding is we have 5 years to complete any of this related work under the MESA.
It's well, their letter is good for 5 years. Typically, the notice of intent is good for 3 years, but you can get extensions on it.
And as far as future revisions, I didn't want to like shake things up last minute, but revisions moving forward, we could start this initial work and revisions can still happen under this 3-year period.
I think
Simple design revision, like where to run the fence, for instance. It's advantageous to have a hooking trail coming into the beach versus being straight shot for the wind, right? And creating the rope where it hooks around might be beneficial to the way that.
Modification.
yeah, I think as long as there's not going to be any change in the impact to the resource area, these are some of these can be
Is this stuff we could work like as we?
Yes, if you're in any doubt about making any changes, just get in touch with the agent and he will give you guidance as to whether anything needs to be filed or not.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I will entertain a motion to approve the initial work on 232 Atlantic Street, Wingershik Beach with the additional work on receipt of NHESP approval.
Commissioner Cook makes a motion to approve NOI 0283110 at 322 Atlantic Street with the
Commissioner
affordable.
Sargent seconds.
well, Member Cook,
Yes.
Member Elides,
Yes.
and Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay. You are all set, sir.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it and I appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. Okay, next up, we have NOI 0283111 at 14 and 16 Links Road by the Historic Cape Ann LLC. Commissioner Jackson is recusing from this, and Mr. Cook will take over.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, John Judd, engineer with Gateway Consultants, representing the applicant for this project at Links Road as described at the last hearing. I've shared my screen. There were some comments received by the board. I'd like to go over those quickly. I think we've accommodated most of those comments, or if not all of them. At the last hearing, it was asked why we couldn't move the structure out of the buffer zone, and my explanation was this was the high point here, and for views and obvious reasons, the applicant went ahead and moved everything outside the buffer zone, with the exception of the Peastone driveway, which is needed to access these garages here. So for the most part, everything has been moved out. Certainly, all the impervious area has been moved out as shown on the plan. And that was the first comment. The duplex has also been reduced and redesigned as shown on the current plan. The Peastone Drive has been labeled, has been minimized, and has been pulled back as well, as pointed out. The detention basin was requested at the bottom of the driveway at the intersection of Links Road. There was some concerns about that. In this area here, we've added a mitigation area as well as detention here, 40-foot long vegetated infiltration swale to mitigate any potential runoff coming off this pervious driveway, the Peastone driveway. So that's been added there. No blasting is proposed in the buffer zone, so we've accepted that, and we have no problem with putting that as part of the order conditions should that be issued. Snow removal areas have been proposed outside the buffer zone here and here. That was requested by Mr. Shade. And again, mitigation area at the bottom, 200% of any work within the buffer zone. Although it's all pervious pea stone, we did provide the 200% there. We have added a infiltration swale detail to go along the side of the driveway, as well as toward the bottom right here. And in addition to these two areas here for overland, infiltration for roof runoff and so forth coming off that building that is proposed, and again, all outside the buffer zone. And I think that was it. If there's any other questions, I'd be happy to answer those at this time. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to open it up for public comment.
Let's see, we have a couple hands up on Zoom, and we have a couple hands here in person. Let's start with folks here in person.
Hi, Sharon Tomlinson, 3 Links Road, Unit B. I have concerns of water issue. We have a serious flooding issue on the street that is affecting our property, flowing down our driveway, flowing into common backyard, and is doing a lot of damage. We have lost some trees due to the water issue that we have been trying to address for several years. But it is difficult because it is a condo situation, it is a private road, and it's affecting several houses. The water is coming from across the street and up the hill. So that is my biggest concern is this project going to add more water displacement affecting the road? I did send videos to Ms. Nealand. My latest issue was this past storm. We had flooding that almost came into our front door. And this is an ongoing issue where the water is just continuously flowing. Whether it's a nice dry day outside, we can still have ducks in our driveway, which I'm happy to send those pictures to.
Okay, I'm Sue Klein. I'm from 8 Links Road. While the water, right now, my water issues are not a problem, I am concerned about the lacking of interest really in mitigating the impact. I mean, yes, they have moved the building out of the buffer zone, but these driveways still destroy a lot of vegetation. These trees coming down, I think they said 7 mature trees. To replace that with only 2 saplings is usually not enough. They usually do, like if it's a 14-inch tree, they would expect 14 1-inch saplings in replacement, even come close to being equal. But of course, the root systems of these mature trees and none of the mitigation plantings are anywhere near the building site. So all the water is going to come down and probably destroy the plantings at the bottom because it'll be too much water for the system to even handle. Even with the swales and other things that they've put in, there's so much water that comes down. The road is mostly just water for a few days after any sort of a rain event or a melting event. And I know that my previous owners had done a lot to mitigate the water situation. So I think I'm okay with how things are now, but I'm nervous with what will happen with this right behind my house.
A couple hands up on the Zoom. The first is Jim Town.
Yes, good evening. Thank you. A couple of questions. I'll just follow up on the water and drainage. Obviously, there's a lot of water in this area. And if you go back over other conservation projects brought in front of here, you'll see many issues a couple of them been raised by other residents who spoke here. So there's a lot of water issues. Specifically on that, you'll see at the area where there's the driveway right now, there's actually a pipe that comes out that drains water out into the street in that area off the property. It appears to be right where the driveway would be. So I guess my question would be, what's going to happen with that pipe? How will it go into drainage that drains onto the street? And then it goes over into the area where Bass Rocks Golf Club has done a bunch of mitigation with a sort of a retaining area there. So what happens with that pipe and that drainage into the area? Because it does flow right out of a sort of a PVC pipe. The second thing is before, I guess there was some commentary in the last meeting that was presented about 1 versus 2 driveways. I can see that there's been some modification with the movement of the structures. There's still sort of 2 driveways up. Maybe it doesn't go all the way around. I can see on the newest map it goes direct, but is there any considerations about just having 1 single driveway, around these particular matters with the water and into the conservation area? So that's the second question. Third, I had raised this before, but I don't think it was addressed from my previous comments. I understand that there's could be some type of parking area down at the bottom of the hill, down into the area where the conservation is or directly abutting it. And so I don't see that on these maps, and I wanted to find out from the applicant process if they're planning to put a parking lot area in there, either initially or in the future, because that also raises question about the water in the conservation area. So that's my third question. And then going back to the trees. I understand that from the last meeting, there was a request, and I see some pictures posted online. But some trees are going to be removed. I can't remember the exact total, 7 or 10, I can't remember. But I understood that they were going to be sort of mapped out to show where those trees were going to be removed. There was some commentary by the conservation about removing the trees, especially on the hillside and other areas. And so I'm just interested to see which trees are going to be removed where. So thank you.
We have another hand up, Tracy Keogh.
Hi, thanks very much. My husband Joseph is here. We're 20 Links Road.
I just wanted to echo the comments of the previous speaker, have similar concerns. We get a lot of puddling up at the top of our drive. And when I looked at the map that was there, initially not the one that you just showed, I was concerned about the amount of slab that was going to be put down. You reduced that a little bit, but I'm going to emphasize and echo that the driveway allotments here are just too excessive for that area. Everyone will experience much more water coming down there, even as in the revised plan. And I'm concerned also about the, I guess, lot number 17, the way that drive makes that curve. I don't know if that is required for some reason or other, but I think that needs to be redesigned too. It's actually going to create more problems down at the base of that street at Links Road. And this may not be directly related to your conservation duties, but that drive is blind now for anybody coming down Links Road in the opposite direction. So that needs to be addressed no matter what, either in this circumstance or later on. But right now, as the plan exists, and there's no other, as I understand it, mechanism for dealing with the runoffs that occur in that area now. There's no plan to deal with these runoffs should they get worse by putting in this thing. When I look at this structure, I think it's going to get a lot worse. And I think people are going to be very, very concerned about that. Thank you very much.
We have one more hand up, David Weiner.
Hi, this is David Weiner at 3 Links Road, Unit A. I just wanted to emphasize virtually all of the comments that have been made. I mean, we at the low end of Links Road are the lowest elevation in Links Road, and as you know, that's where the water ends up. And so I would like to be assured that any construction that goes on Links Road doesn't add to the existing problems we have, which are very, very difficult to deal with. Thank you.
We have no other hands up at this time.
Okay, moving to commissioner comments.
Member Cook?
I'd like to thank you for all the changes that you've made, John. And really, that's all I have. It's going to be a tough area no matter what. But I think you've addressed all of the major concerns that we had last year. I mean, or at last meeting. So that's all I have.
Thank you for making the changes to the plan regarding drainage, improvements and mitigation plantings. I encourage the property owners to continue to work with neighbors, see if there's something that they can collectively do to ease a difficult neighborhood drainage problem. It's been going on for years and years and years. There must be a 2-year monitoring for the mortality of all mitigation plantings, and all water must be adequately treated before being discharged.
Member Elides?
Couple questions. The mitigation at the bottom of the road, is that just for the area of the driveway at the bottom of the road, or does that include some of the area of that upper buffer zone?
And at the end, there's an answer right now.
Oh, okay. One of my questions, and I might echo a little one of the concerns of the public comment that if that's not the case, then I do wonder about the mitigation for the area, the driveways that goes over the buffer zone in that upper, and I could see maybe if looks like a big number down there, maybe it's inclusive of that, and maybe there's a reason why they can't get plantings closer to the resource there because of ledge or something. I could understand if that might be the case, but if there's no mitigation at all for those areas, I think, that may need to be discussed. And in the past meeting, there was a comment that the infiltration bale was also going to be the line of disturbance. And if that's still the case, I'd like to note that in the order of condition.
Okay,
You have anything?
Hun, you want to go ahead and address the?
I didn't know if Mr. Shade had any comments.
I don't have anything additional at this time.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I'll just go in reverse order while it's all fresh. Member Elise had a question on mitigation. So we have the mitigation chart shown. The total, that includes all of the mitigation, and it was emphasized at the last hearing where all the water is heading down toward Links Road. Maybe additional mitigation in that area would be beneficial, coupled with the stormwater infiltration swale that's proposed there. Again, everything that's proposed here is pervious in terms of the driveway surface. So we're not only not increasing the rate of runoff here, but we're the plan is to improve the situation of any runoff coming down this road. We are proposing, as far as buffer zone mitigation, over 14 trees. So I'm not sure where the abutter had that 2 or 3 saplings. I'm not sure where that came from. With respect to the drainage, the applicant is fully aware of this. This 6.5 acres here at half-acre zoning, city sewer, any aggressive developer could come in here and really try to do something more aggressive in terms of at least attempt it to do more of an aggressive subdivision. And that's not at all what anyone wants, particularly people in the neighborhood, nor the applicant. So I think there's been, in addition to the efforts that it's been made to move everything out of the buffer zone as far as the structure at the top in the Peastone driveway and no blasting. I think I would commend the applicant for what's been proposed and the changes associated with that. In terms of the limit of work, we're absolutely okay with that erosion control as shown being the limit of work. I think that was one of the questions. Again, the drainage is the primary concern of the abutters, as it should be. Historically, as long as I can remember, there's always been drainage issues of, playing the golf course and so forth, and that's where it all ends up. It's not going to end up over at number 3 over there at Harriet Road. It's not going to end up over there because that's a higher elevation. Everything that does come off this site will continue to come off the site. It's not going to rain any more or less now that should this be approved. It's our responsibility to mitigate it to the extent possible. It was requested that the driveway have an infiltration swale. You can see the driveway section. That's been added to the plan. So we're going to have a swale all the way down this driveway to help infiltrate any runoff that might be coming off of the driveway. And as far as moving it away from the Keogh property and closer to the town property, I'm not sure Mr. Town would like that, but this is the elevations here would support the driveway location as it's shown. That's pretty much where there's an existing gravel parking area now. There is no plan to have a larger parking area. That was one of the concerns of the neighbors, and that's not at all what's proposed. Should any change be asked or requested of this plan, it would have to come back before this commission. So there is no plan to do any parking area at the bottom, and we're trying to enhance that lower area with additional mitigation plantings over 2,300 square feet, where right now there's a lot of just tall grasses and gravel right now. So in an old tennis court. So that would the plan is to be mitigated with native plantings. And I believe I addressed most of these concerns, if not all, Mr. Chairman. I can answer any other questions you might have.
Commissioners, anybody have anything else they'd like to add? Okay, John, we have three members, so we need all 3 members to vote for this. Do you want us to vote tonight?
Yes, please.
Member Cook, we do have butters that I guess want to make more comments. I don't know if you want to allow that or not.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thank you. I just have one follow-up question. Is there a plan to replace or fix the road as it gets damaged with larger vehicles and construction going up and down that road?
Is that something I can answer now, Mr. Chairman?
Sure, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I can assure you that this applicant will replace any and all damage to this private road. It's just not the makeup of this applicant. Very well known in the community and a very solid builder with an excellent reputation for quality. So I can assure you on my own reputation that any damage that isn't already there, that's going to happen, should it happen, will be repaired.
Maybe we make that as a condition?
Sure. Yeah, it's in the buffer zone, so that's absolutely within your purview to do that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
We do have another hand up on the Zoom if you want to allow that.
Go ahead.
Jim Town.
A couple things. Just actually in comment to that, I would just point out for the commission and Mr. Judd, you might be aware, actually the applicant paved in front of there before at their own cost, I understand it, a few years ago to make sure they were maintaining in front of that. So from my perspective, I would agree in terms of I would imagine that if there was any issue like that, that the applicant would take care of it. That's been the history that I've seen as well. I think you satisfied the other questions that I had, so thank you for that. The only question is do we have any understanding of where the trees would be removed and replaced on this map, or is that something that would come out at a further time? Otherwise, I have no other questions or comments or objections, so thank you.
Want to answer, John?
Sure. Yeah, the tree, Mr. Sargent had asked where that tree was, the large tree up top, and it's outside the buffer zone, but it's close to the area of work. If you'd like, I can show my screen, but it's the totality of the trees that we, as you know, the last meeting, we had some snow on the ground, but we were hammered after that with snowstorms. So we use the aerial the aerial information to couple what we already located. We have several trees that are shown survey located, but there was some aerial additional trees that we were able to augment our trees. So a lot of these are outside the buffer zone, but I'm not sure if that answers the question. But throughout the site, throughout the 6.5 acre site.
So can I just clarification? Are the saplings being planted near where these trees are being taken down, or they're all being planted at the bottom of that mitigation area? Because it wasn't two saplings for the 7 trees. You were saying 2 saplings for 1 tree, but 1 tree needs probably at least 14 to 30 saplings to equal the water uptake. Because having drainage just means the water flows. A tree will actually take the water up and out, which is what we need in that system for the water not to keep doing the damage that it's doing to all of the yards and all the current plantings. I mean, you can put in drainage, but that means the water is still going. The trees and the vegetation take the water out of the system. So
I don't dispute that evapotranspiration, infiltration, and everything associated with the water budget from the pre and post conditions here. The trees are an important factor, and the applicant is fully on board with trying to replace and making the least amount of damage. I think the effort's been made in terms of the pervious surfaces. There's no impervious surface proposed, particularly in the buffer zone, other than the roof runoff, and that's going to be handled through open infiltration swales as shown on the plan. In addition, any plan associated with a building permit has to be also approved by the city engineer. So anything outside the buffer zone, ma'am, I strongly recommend that you get in touch with the city engineer and coincide with them as far as any concerns you might have.
thank you.
Anybody else, Chuck?
We have no other hands up this time.
Okay, seeing none, hearing none, I'll close the public comment period.
Commissioner Sargent moves to close the public comment period.
Commissioner Lady seconds.
Roll call, Member Cook,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Eliades,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent moves to approve 14 NOI 0283111 14 and 16 Links Road with the approved discussed conditions, including road repair if needed.
Commissioner Lady seconds.
call Member Cook,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Eliades.
Yes.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
John.
you very much.
For the record, Commissioner Jackson returns to the meeting.
Okay, for the record, Commissioner Cook has to recuse from this.
Okay. All right, next up is extension 0282523 at 16 Bayberry Lane by Davis Associates, Inc. And there has been a request to withdraw this application without prejudice. Mr. Sargent?
Mr. Sargent moves to approve the request to withdraw without prejudice.
Commissioner Lady seconds.
Roll call, Member Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Eliades, and Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay, moving on.
For the record, Commissioner Cook returned.
Moving on, we have NOI 0283114 at 22 and 22 Rear Eastern Point Road by Thomas Schmidt. And there has been a request to continue this to the meeting of April 1st, 2026.
Commissioner Cook requests move NOI 0283114 to the conservation meeting of April 1st, 2026.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call Member Cook,
Yes.
Sergeant. Yes. Member Eliades,
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes. And next up, we have NOI 0283115 at 75 Essex Avenue, owned by Dominic Realty Trust for a new building, addition to existing building and replacement of structure in existing footprint in riverfront area, land subject to coastal storm flowage, and buffer zone to coastal resource area, presented by John Judd, Gateway Consultants, Inc.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Once again, John Judd, engineer with Gateway Consultants, representing the applicant at 75 Essex Ave. There was some comments and some notes I took from the last meeting. We followed up with some modifications to the operations and maintenance plan that was requested by Commissioner Sargent. As far as any potential accident or spills within the building, we've modified that, and we've also modified the standard number 5 on that application to improve, to sort of explain in a narrative the improvements and so forth associated with the, to the extent possible, portion of the riverfront stormwater calculations. We did add a storm scepter for the metal roof runoff that was requested. That's an inline stormwater storm scepter that was added to the plan as well. And I think that was the really the essential comments, unless I missed something. I can answer any questions you might have.
Okay, we'll open this up first for public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to comment on the project at 75 Essex Avenue?
We have no hands up in person and none on the Zoom.
Okay, in that case, I will close the public comment period. We'll move on to commissioner comments.
Member Cook,
I have no additional comments.
Member Sargent,
No comments.
Member Eliades,
No comments.
Member Jackson.
Just a couple of comments, just making sure of things. You have the narrative on meeting each stormwater standard. Chuck had requested a flood path analysis, I believe. You've done the O&M, you've done the storm scepter and metal roofs. We had talked about having some kind of a coating. And there was going to be a 2-foot separation between the chamber bottom and groundwater, or there would be a mound analysis. Those are the things I had down. Chuck, did you have anything to say to that or in addition?
Nothing in addition.
Okay, John?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. As far as the mounding, so when you have a redevelopment, you meet the standards to the extent possible. So in other words, you're not going to be able to meet the 100-year event and everything associated with it. Say if this was a pristine riverfront area or a brand new development, this is a redevelopment. So the intent here of the stormwater Section 5, Standard 5 is to improve to the extent practicable. And those are the actual words. We looked at the option of treating the roof, but that's not something that, first of all, it's cost prohibitive to do that. And eventually that'll wear off over time. So what we decided to do is connect all the roof runoffs, leaders into this storm scepter, which is a proprietary part of the O&M that needs to be maintained and inspected. So that's actually a good thing because eventually coatings and so forth wear off. So that was in lieu of the potential coating of that roof.
Okay.
That was a question, I believe, of the applicant, whether we can coat it or that. And I did talk to the GC, and it's very expensive to do that, and it doesn't last forever. As far as flood vents, they're all included on the design drawings, and that'll be part of the building permit process. I think that was one of the concerns.
Okay. And Chuck, you have no additional concerns? I know you had some I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed.
No, I think the only thing really would just be revisit that page on the checklist to make sure the correct box is checked for standard 5.
Okay. Okay, then I think we can go ahead with this. Would somebody like to close the public hearing?
Commissioner Cook moves to close the public hearing for NOI 0283115.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call Member Cook,
Yes.
Sargent,
Yes.
Member Eliades,
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Cook moves to approve NOI 0283115.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call Member Cook,
Yes.
Member Sargent,
Yes.
Member Eliades,
Yes.
and Member Jackson.
Yes. All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Next up, we have NOI 0283112 at 95 Eastern Point Boulevard, Jennifer and Robert Culbert to raise and rebuild of existing home, repairs to existing septic system, new pool, terrace, and associated land hardscaping in land subject to coastal storm flowage and buffer zone to coastal resource area, represented by Bill Manuel, Wetlands and Land Management, Inc.
Good evening, Bill Manuel here. Jason Camps is the building expert for the project, is just off camera here, and John is joining us by Zoom this evening. He's the engineer of record. We had our first hearing, and Chuck, would you mind putting the plan up, the latest plan? We did reconvene with the abutter, Mr. Gordon, who was at the last meeting. I believe we have mutually arrived at solutions for preserving as much vegetation as we can between the two properties in that little, what they call the micro forest. And we actually added some additional vegetation. This retaining wall, which is along the property line, is now moved in, and we put this as close to the septic system reserve area as possible. Remember, we saw two jutting retaining walls here. That was an element of discussion between the two parties. That's been removed. It'll be sort of blended into this retaining wall and graded off the rest of the way. And notice that we've added more mitigation here. You'll look at this white triangle here and wonder why there's nothing in there. Well, there's already existing vegetation in there. And that was sort of the mutual discussion that we had between the two parties, that we preserve as much vegetation, existing vegetation that's in what we call the microforest here. And so additional vegetation and mitigation where we can. We did move, there was an area here, there was a request to try to move things closer to the water. So we did shift this down closer to the water here, which will sort of blend in with the mitigation that we had shown here. Well, it sort of complements this vegetation and building off these existing trees here. So what the end result is that I believe we have a better plan. We actually have 200 square feet more mitigation than we had at the last presentation. And I believe Mr. Gordon, the neighbor over here, he submitted an email letter to the commission saying that we mutually reached what we feel is the best possible plan. I also called out this last tree here that I had missed. There are 8 trees that will be affected, and we'll put back 16 trees. So we think we've done a really good job here, and like to close the hearing and ask for approval.
Okay. I will open this up for public comment. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to comment on the project at 95 Eastern Point Boulevard?
We have no hands up here in person, and there are none on the Zoom.
Okay, I'll close the public comment period. We'll move on to commissioner comments.
Member Cook.
Bill, I'd like to thank you for the changes, especially moving some of the mitigation closer to the resource area. Thank you very much. That's it.
Member Sergeant.
Thank you for the changes to the plan, as well as working with the neighbors. And there must be a 2-year monitoring for the mortality of all mitigation plantings in a perpetual condition in the COC that prohibits further alteration within the mitigation areas except as may be required. Maintain those areas in a mitigated condition. All water must be adequately treated before being discharged. I'd like to also incorporate DEP's suggested conditions.
And Member Eliades.
Nothing addition.
Member Jackson.
I have no additional comments. I appreciate the changes as well. Okay, then you're okay, Mr. Manuel, with incorporating the DEP comments?
Yes.
Okay, let's move forward.
Okay, Commissioner Cook moves to close the public hearing for NOI 0283112.
Commissioner Sergeant seconds.
Member Cook.
Yes.
Member Sergeant.
Yes.
Member Eliades.
Yes.
And Member Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Cook moves to approve NOI 0283112 with the aforementioned conditions.
Commissioner Sergeant seconds.
Member Cook.
Yes.
Yes.
Member Elides,
Yes.
and Member Jackson.
Yes. You're all set.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Okay, moving on to new business. We have NOI 028 unassigned DEP number at 28 St. Louis Avenue, owned by Mark Andreasen, for a sewer connection in buffer zone to BVW, represented by John Judd, Gateway Consultants, Inc.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, John Judd, engineer with Gateway Consultants, representing the Andresens property. This is for a sewer connection, and that's associated with a building addition that is proposed. And let me see if I can pull this up, or see. Bear with me for 1 second. And okay, let me get that. Okay, so this property was before, well, recently we did a property across the street for a sewer extension to come down St. Louis and BMO, right down here to serve this property here, which is the Tadler property. This property here is the subject property at 28. And there is a proposal to do an addition on this dwelling here. The resource areas exist in Niles Pond, the wetland associated with Niles Pond here. The buffer zone is here. There is also a wetland system that sort of is associated with BMO Ave and St. Louis Ave, and then the culvert system that makes its way down across here and across the Tadler property out toward the harbor. And this is the buffer zone area that we're discussing right now. So the proposal is this, basically this 1.25-inch diameter pressurized sewer line that would make the connection into that previously approved sewer extension on St. Louis Ave. And that's the rest of this project is outside the buffer zone. It's between these two buffer zones here. So we're looking at this project right here. There is erosion control proposed already, and it's actually installed or associated with that wetland system across the street. And we're looking to get this approved for this utility work here for this pressurized sewer. The water line already exists, the gas line already exists into the house, but it's just the proposed sewer line associated with the building addition. Thank you.
Okay, we'll open this up for public comment. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to comment on the project at 28 St. Louis Avenue?
We have no hands up here in person, and there are no hands up on the Zoom.
Okay, we'll move on to commissioner comments.
Cook,
No comments.
Sergeant.
All water must be adequately treated or being discharged. And I'm wondering, the wetland delineation, I think, is 11 years old. I'm wondering if it's still accurate and if it might impact, if it's different, if it might be impacting future work that's planned. I'll leave that to Chuck's because he was out there. But I'd like that answered.
It could, that was actually all freshly delineated as far as the Tadler project across the street. So we may have referenced an older delineation, but that's freshly flagged.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Elides?
It looked to me on the satellite, like where that passes through the buffer zone there, that's just lawn, right? Like it's not going to go through any of that vegetation.
That's correct. Yeah, no trees removed. It's right through the lawn area.
I'm good.
And Member Jackson?
No, my questions have been asked, so that works for me. And I will also close the public comment period, which I forgot to do. So, Chuck, did you have any additional comments?
I don't. I assume this is just going to be a trench and then lay the pipe and backfill kind of operation. Not being exposed. So, yeah.
Okay, I think we can move forward then.
Oh, we can't. We don't have a number.
Oh, we
We do.
can't. You're absolutely right.
You're right. You're right, Bill. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been
me
after
too.
DP all day to try to get that, but
Yeah, well, okay, so continue to April 1st, Mr. Judd?
yes, please.
Commissioner Cook moves NOI 028, no assigned DEP number for 28 St. Louis Avenue to the conservation meeting of April 1st, 2026.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call Member Cook.
Yes.
Sergeant.
Yes.
Member Eliades.
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. It's on us.
Okay. Next up, we have NOI 0283117 at 44 Vine Street, Paul A. Gricci, to raise and rebuild in land subject to coastal storm flowage, riverfront area, coastal bank, and buffer zone to coastal resource areas, represented by John Judd, Gateway Consultants, Inc.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to pull up this, if I can, and show you what's proposed on this particular project at 44 Vine Street. This is a pre-existing house that exists now and is proposed to be reconstructed on the same footprint here at 44 Vine Street. It's on the Mill River, and it's associated obviously with the riparian zone here. So we have the 100-foot riparian zone here, which extends across the street. The Mill River is here. Let's see if I can go down a little bit here just to give a little bit. Well, we say the Annisquam, but it's associated with. It is the Annisquam, but the Mill River Inlet. And the buffers, the 100-foot riparian zone is here. The existing footprint is the hatch line here, and it includes decks as well. There's an existing deck here. So this has all been gone through the Zoning Board of Appeals. And we're looking to get this approved. It will meet the current flood standards as far as the offset above the flood zone of 13. And let me see, we have mitigation calculations as well that show the riverfront area as far as the area of mitigation and the proposed impacts as well. That's shown on the flood zone and mitigation calculations here in the riverfront section right here. So again, it's largely replacing the existing dilapidated footprint of the building. The neighbors for a long time have complained that this is one of the last ones to be improved. So this is where we are in terms of matching that as close as possible to the existing impervious area and mitigating 200%, and also including improving the area as far as the drainage, which none exists now. So there's quite a bit of drainage here for infiltration off the roof, but there's also the mitigation plantings on both sides, getting as close to the river as possible. We are proposing a flotation barrier here below the deck that's proposed here, which would be suspended above the mean high water, as it does now. Can answer any questions you might have at this time. Thank you.
Okay, I'll open this up for public comment. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to comment on the project at 44 Vine Street?
We have lost our in-person audience, and there are no hands up on the Zoom.
Okay, I'll close the public comment period. We'll move on to commissioner comments.
Member Cook.
No additional comments.
Member Sergeant.
I don't believe the extended deck over the intertidal zone is permittable. In order to be approved in the riverfront area, the applicant must prove that there's no other location for the deck and that will not have a significant adverse impact on the resource area. This proposed deck would create shading impacts to the rocky intertidal zone. For example, shading to prevent rockweed from photosynthesizing, and rockweed is considered essential fish habitat. And I'm wondering if all work is proposed to be done from the shore side. And based on the photographs, it appears that there's a tree by the shoreline to the north and a couple of trees to the south along the property line. These trees are not shown on the plan. Please explain. And I'm wondering how much of the building is proposed to be on pilings, and why not move the building back to the 20-foot front yard setback? This would better meet the criterion of a net improvement to the riverfront area. And there must be a 2-year monitoring for the mortality of all mitigation plantings and a perpetual condition of the COC prohibits further alterations within the mitigation area, except as may be required to maintain those areas the mitigated condition. And I note that DEP made some technical comments, on this project as well, need to be answered. Thank you.
Member Elides.
Yeah, I second that. There's some DEP comments there. One of them had to do with delineation on the plan that I'm not sure made it on there, so that has to be addressed. I had some questions about on the plan itself, things that were, if they're being removed or they're remaining and being improved. There's that lower deck, looking at the plan down to the left, which I guess is the north. Looks like it's remaining. It doesn't really specify it's going to be rebuilt or if it's just going to stay as it is. And then there's the boat ramp on the other side that I assume is remaining, but also assume it's not being improved on because that's not specified. I had some questions about the overhang deck myself. I think Mr. Sargent had more concerns than I did. I was looking at it in terms of extending towards the resource, but it's kind of an interesting question because you sort of have that existing deck and then you have sort of a transect overlap. So I'm not really sure the answer to that. If Chuck has any additional input on that one. That's what I had.
Member Jackson.
In addition to the above comments, I wondered if you could get the plantings on the right any closer to the resource area. And you mentioned timber or stone steps. Are they going to be pervious, impervious? And if they're impervious, were they counted in the impervious area? Chuck, did you have any comments?
Yeah, I believe the one comment that DEP had was about the coastal bank delineation. It is kind of a tricky site to figure out where that is, but I would be interested in Mr. Judd's comments on that. Some of the questions I had were related to, let me pull up a photo here. So this is the back of the house, obviously right up against the river. It looks like on the plan there's a slab at elevation 13, which is going to be a bit higher up. But I was curious, the current footings, around this doesn't look like a very stable wall. So I was kind of curious what type of work was going to be needed, down underneath the house and along this area here, which is right against the river. What type of supports were going to be put in there, or if a slab was going to be going all the way down to grade, or kind of what was going to be happening within the portion under the house, because that's going to be within the flood zone, and obviously pretty exposed to the river itself.
Okay, several comments there. Obviously, we did see the DEP comments that when we check the portal, and we can add that that transect to show the coastal bank. It's going from the top. Mr. Sargent's concerns about not extending the deck. I will huddle up with the applicant and the architect on that, and we will respond to that as well. As far as all trees, I believe all trees are shown. We will double check that. There's a large tree as you face the house with your back to the road. There's a large tree on the right that the applicant wants to keep. The neighbors would like to see it go down, but he wants to keep it. There really aren't any other trees that I can remember, but I will double check that. And we will show those. But I believe all trees that are on the site are shown on the plan. As far as moving the house closer to the street, we went before the ZBA, as I mentioned, and we did have conversations with the building inspector as far as what he considers the front yard setback because of the right of way. His position is, as well as the attorney, is that we had to be conservative and hold the street right of way easement line as the actual front yard, and then we'd have to come back for the front yard setback from there. So we were limited as far as moving it closer to the street. But again, we're gonna, nothing's gonna happen tonight. We can see that, but we're gonna address that. I'll huddle up again with the attorney and the client on that, the applicant. As far as the lower deck and what that condition is and whether it's going to be reconstructed or remain in place, I was told it was to be to remain. And again, we'll have some more answers on that at the next hearing, as well as the boat ramp and whether that will remain or be reconstructed in the same spot. If it was to be reconstructed, we would have to obviously show that on the plan. And again, I think member Elliot, sorry, I'm going to butcher the name. I'm sorry about that. I haven't met you yet. But as far as the overhead deck and the one question whether that can be approved or not, we will look into that further, and I will mention that to the applicant. Uh, as far as member Jackson's comments, can we move the plantings closer to the riverfront? We will definitely look at that, and I am certain that the steps are proposed. The stone steps would be pervious, and we'll make sure that's noted on the plan. And again, Chuck had mentioned the coastal bank transect from the DEP comments. We're going to add that to the plan as well. I don't know specifically the foundation plans and where the piers are going to be situated, so we will have that specifically submitted as an attachment, a foundation plan, and or a notation on our plan to show where piles are and what's going to be proposed below that building as far as slabs and so forth. So we understand that there's many concerns here. We would like to ask for a continuance to address those. If there's any other comments, I'd like to get them now so we can have everything addressed beforehand.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments from commissioners or from the agent?
I think the only other thing would be, this will probably require going back to possibly amend your Chapter 91 license. I believe there's a current one there for the lower deck and possibly some other pieces there. But I believe if there's changes and the addition of that additional deck, even though it doesn't touch the resource, it'll be over the resource and therefore require amending that Chapter 91.
Yeah, obviously we would, should this be approved, any changes would have to be done after and order conditions be issued if it's to be granted. So we would thank you for that.
Okay, and he addressed everybody's concerns. Nobody's concerns got left out. They were either resolved or promised to be discussed. Okay. Mr. Judd, do you want to continue to April 1st?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Commissioner Cook makes a motion to move NOI 0283117 to the conservation meeting of April 1st, 2026.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call member Cook,
Yes.
member Sergeant,
Yes.
member Eliades,
Yes.
member Jackson.
yes. Okay,
Thank you.
you have your homework. Thank you, Mr. Judd. Next up, we have NOI 028 unassigned DEP number at 163 Magnolia Avenue, owned by Stephen Keegan, upgrade to existing septic system and buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetland, represented by John Judd, Gateway Consultants, Inc.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Once again, for the record, John Judd representing the applicant. I believe we do have a file number, and that was, I think, issued during the interim of when the agenda was posted. Let me see if I can pull up this plan and show you. This is a septic system replacement in the buffer zone for a plan that was approved by the Board of Health already. Not a lot of
3116.
options.
It's 3116.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good.
All right, so I'm going to pull this up and if I can and just see if I can add it there a second ago.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
You see it?
Septic system. Not too much water.
That's ideal conditions, Dave, right there.
It's a sand filter.
It is a sand filter, yes. Sorry about this. I had it all queued up and okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. Once again, septic system replacement at 163 Magnolia Avenue. This is a property. Anyone that drives through Magnolia has seen this. It's very close to the road. Beige house here, and the wetlands system exists along the entire side of the property, along the back corner here, and extend back into Magnolia Woods. And we have the buffer zone associated with that here. So the entire site is either wetlands or buffer zone. The existing system consists of a tank right here and a failed leaching pit here. There is driveway access here. There's an existing shed here. We did have very good soil with a high water table. So we would try to get this further away always to get it away from the resource area. However, we were limited by several things, including the area here, the existing shed, which is much more than a shed. It's in good shape. It's a garage, and it has a lean area here for storage. Very important to the homeowner. So what we've done is we did the soil testing here, and we improved the proposed system to be advanced treatment with pressure distribution, and that would be sufficiently above the groundwater to meet all the state requirements. Obviously, much better water quality going into the wetland area. And again, has been approved by the Board of Health. You can answer any questions you might have. We have erosion control around the entire section right here that separates the resource area and the proposed work. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I will open this up for public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to comment on the project at 163 Magnolia Avenue?
We still have nobody here in person and no hands up on the Zoom.
Okay, I'll close the public comment period. We'll move on to commissioner comments.
Member Cook.
The existing system is just being crushed or filled in place, or how?
You want to wait until the end, John?
That's a real quick answer.
Okay.
Typically, yeah, so that would be pumped. All components would be pumped and backfilled. The tank would be removed and everything else would be backfilled with clean granular soil.
Okay.
Thank you.
Member Sargent.
This improves existing conditions. Thank you.
Member Elides.
I had just a technical question more for you, Chuck. With that being less than 50 feet, is that a variance we approve, or does that come from the Board of Health? Or
That's Board of Health variance, yeah, not a commission.
all right, yeah, I would agree. I think it probably improves the existing conditions.
Member Jackson.
I'm sure it does improve the existing conditions. Are you removing any vegetation out in that area, or is it in a grassed area?
It's grass. There are several large pine trees that we show on the plan, and those are not proposed to be taken down.
Okay, good. Yeah, the pictures showed a lot of trees out there, just making sure you could fit into the bare space.
Yeah,
Okay.
it worked out. It actually worked out pretty well.
Okay, Chuck, did you have any additional comments?
I do not. I mean, it's kind of a tight lot and kind of the only place to really put that.
Yeah, it is tight. Okay, we can move on.
Okay, Commissioner Cook moves to close the public hearing for NOI 0283116.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
We'll call Member Cook.
Yes.
Member Sargent.
Yes.
Member Elides.
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Cook moves to approve NOI 0283116.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Call Member Cook.
Yes.
Sargent.
Yes.
Member Elides.
Yes.
Member Jackson.
Yes. Okay, you're set.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, certificates of compliance. First up is RCOC 0281933 at 3 Welch Lane. Ratification of unissued 2016 COC represented by Joel Favaza, Seaside Legal Solutions PC. Chuck, any catch up on that?
I believe the rest of the discussion for 367 has been continued to April 15th. So I imagine we will resume discussion of the COC at that time.
Okay, so not until April 15th. All right, 26. Okay. Let's move on to our COC. We've already taken care of 35 Massasoit. So we will move on to our COC 0282842 at 50 Essex Avenue. Chuck?
So we have a couple folks here for that project.
Okay,
What is here?
would they like to speak? Name and address for the record, please.
Eric Kelly, principal with Apex Companies in Woburn, Massachusetts. We're the city's design engineer of record.
Okay,
And I'm joined tonight by my colleague Dylan O'Donnell.
okay. And you're here you're requesting a certificate of compliance for 50 Essex Avenue, and you feel you have fulfilled all of the conditions?
Yes, Dylan, you want to step through the
Yeah, please.
Sure. Thank you, commissioners. So like you said, we're here tonight for 50 Essex Avenue. We're formally requesting the certificate of compliance for the order of conditions, which was issued for the project back in 2022. So we've submitted the request for certificate of compliance, and we believe the project has been constructed in substantial compliance with the plans and the conditions in the order. With that being said, there is one condition in the order that's not yet fully complete, and that's due to the recent inclement weather. That's special condition number 50, which requires that stencils are placed on catch basin inlets to indicate that the inlet is for the disposal of stormwater only and that it discharges to waterways or wetlands. So we have a plan in place with the DPW to get that stenciling done on those catch basins once the weather cooperates. But other than that, that concludes our request, and we'll turn it back to you for any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Chuck, your comments on this project?
Yeah, everything else looks really good out there. Been out there several times throughout the process, checking on the mitigation plantings and all that. And everything's always looked, good order out there, and the plantings are doing well. They did have some stuff that was replanted after the first season, but everything I've seen out there looks pretty good.
Okay, and you had suggested some continuing conditions?
So yeah, there are some continuing conditions from the order of conditions, mostly dealing with no storage, stormwater clean out, that sort of thing. So it looks like special conditions 29, 51, 52, and 57 through 61.
Okay. Did you have any additional comments, Chuck?
No.
Okay, do any other commissioners have comments on anything that's been discussed?
We should, if we're going to approve it, we should approve it with those continuing conditions.
Yes, absolutely. Chuck, can we approve this on the condition that the stenciling get put into place?
I'm comfortable with that. We have a continuing NOI out there for additional work. So it's it's on my radar, but it's if the commission is comfortable with that, I am.
Is there anyone who is not comfortable with it? Speak now. Okay. All right, then I will entertain a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for 50 Essex Avenue with the continuing conditions and that condition of the stenciling taking place.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Cook moves to issue the certificate of compliance for 0282842 at 50 Essex Avenue with the aforementioned conditions.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Roll call. Member Cook?
Yes.
Sargent?
Yes.
Member Elides?
Yes.
And Member Jackson?
Yes. All right. You're all set.
Great, thanks. We'll let DPW know, and we'll coordinate with Chuck once we get the stencils installed.
That'd be wonderful. It's all we needed to hear. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
You too. Okay, next up, violations. Enforcement order 2401 at 137 Wingershik Road. Any new information on that one, Chuck?
I hadn't heard anything. I reached out to Mr. Nyland yesterday. I know Mike DeRosa has been on vacation and has just returned. And Mike was included on an email today saying that they will get out there the end of this week and kind of get the plan together for the removal of the ramp, and then start working on what needs to be done for restoration plan, and they have that to us before the next meeting.
The ramp needs to be removed before April 1st.
Yes.
And at the last meeting, they said that they would get it done probably by Wednesday.
Yes.
Right, and that didn't happen. So the next meeting we have is April 1st.
Yep.
And if the ramp isn't removed, it can't be removed after that.
Unless there's approval around natural heritage.
And that it doesn't come immediately either. Does it? Should we be potentially thinking about financial penalties if it isn't done by April 1st?
Up to the commission, but seems
I think that's eminently reasonable.
Can I make a motion that we consider that?
yes, you may.
I make a motion that if the ramp is not removed by April 1st, that the commission levy civil penalties, against the applicant for violation.
I'll second that.
Roll call, member Cook,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
member Eliades,
Yes.
member Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, I will convey that, Mr. Nyland.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other business which has to come before the meeting?
The other update I have is the member sergeant asked about 10 Kirk Road, I believe.
Yes.
They violation with the floats being stored on the salt marsh. I do have a site visit out there scheduled with Harbor Master and Shellfish on Friday. They have applied for the 10-day permit, and so we will be out there on Friday, and I can update you on what's happening on that after that visit.
Okay. Is there anything else? I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I have to get an injured lizard to a wildlife center. But and I'm just going back with my daughter to see who's going to take this lizard.
Is he insured through Geico?
Is he what?
Insured through Geico.
Yeah, truly, truly. God, I sadly to say I don't think he has any insurance whatsoever. I didn't think my dog was outside with my husband, and I didn't think the dog could catch anything. These things are fast, and apparently he caught this one, and my husband rescued it, but he can't move his back legs. He can move his front. He scurries around, so I have to catch him. He's under a chair right now with a dish of water beside him. So I will see if I can catch him. I called the wildlife center and they said if he had been attacked by a dog, he needed to be brought in. This is 35 minutes away. So
Oh, God.
yeah, so we will see. I'll try to keep you all posted.
Well, thank you.
All right. So if there's nothing else,
Nope. And I think it was a successful meeting.
yeah, we got a lot of things passed. We got a lot of movement forward. Good.
And one thing, stalling again at the end of Wingershik.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. No question about that. So I think the more concerned we can get him to be, the better off we are.
Is that the enforcement order?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and the other one, Chuck, that you can probably start mentioning to him, talking about the enforcement orders, is over at Whistle Stop. Now that all the snow's gone and, within the next couple weeks, I think they should be moving into phase 2.
Yep, I will reach out to them and kind of see if they have a game plan for the spring.
Okay, Commissioner Cook makes a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Sargent seconds.
Roll call, Member Cook,
Yes.
Member Sergeant,
Yes.
Member Eliades,
Yes.
and Member Jackson.
Yes. We are all set. Thank you very much, folks.
Okay, go take care of your lizard.
I'm going to go do that right now. Bye-bye.